Well, hey there. It's that time again for me to bring you a recipe with the Amish Friendship Starter. We're going to make a lemon loaf today. It's part of the Friendship Fridays collaboration where once a month we dig it out and we make something delicious. But I'm also participating in the Every Bit Counts challenge hosted by Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. And when you bake something, bake two so you can put one in the freezer because every little bit counts. My name's Angela, and if you're new here, welcome. I love having you here in the kitchen with me, or wherever I am out on the farm, grocery hauls, thrift store shopping, you name it. I like to bring you along if I can. If you haven't already, I encourage you to push that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you share it out with your friends too. Let's get busy making my son and me a lemon loaf. The oven has been preheated to 350 degrees. I've got two bowls here, one for wet ingredients and one for dry ingredients. The star of our show, our Amish Friendship Starter, I'll go ahead and put it in first. We need a cup. And as you can see, there are some nice bubbles in here. So an active starter always is better, but not necessary because you do add baking powder and baking soda to this recipe. So if it's not the day you fed it or the day after, no worries. You can actually use this all throughout the week. I have learned that this is way more forgiving than I once originally thought. Clean up the sides here a bit and we'll tuck it away for next time. I'm going to need a half a cup of oil. Vegetable oil is of my choice today. I'm going to need a half a cup of milk. This is raw cow's milk. If you didn't know, I hand milk my own dairy animals. I have both cows and goats, but right now we're just in cow's milk. And then this is a little twist I'm going to put on myself, a lemon yogurt. You could use sour cream, applesauce, or just another half a cup of oil. That's up to you. And then lastly, we need to grab a couple eggs. I'm choosing to use duck eggs today. If you've been around, you know I just love baking with duck eggs. Let's see. I always separate them just because you never know. If you drop a shell, it's so much easier to get out this way. I'm going to go ahead and break those egg yolks. And we're just going to quickly kind of whisk this together so that all those ingredients are combined. And this is what I would consider my wet ingredients. If you want, you could add a little lemon extract to this, but I don't think it's going to be necessary today. For my dry ingredients, I want 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I think that's probably about what I have left here in my container. It's time for a refill. That's exactly what I have. Okay. Well, that worked out perfect. Because it's a sweetbread, we are going to add some sugar to this today. I'm going to do 1 cup. This is a half cup measurement, so we'll use it twice. We need, if you heard that, the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. And then just a half a teaspoon of the baking soda. At this point, you could add a little cinnamon. You could add your poppy seeds. You could add frozen blueberries. I got a stellar deal, 25 cents. How do you even see, putting for 25 cents? They're probably, we're clearancing out the boxes, but I got them for 25 cents each. So we'll put 2 boxes in here. And I will tell you that you're supposed to use the instant. However, I have snuck in the kind that you bake, the old kind, you hardly ever even see those anymore. And they work fine too. I'm going to get this whisk again, and we're just going to kind of evenly, disperse the baking soda and the baking powder, because Nobody wants a clump of that. You can even go through and sift this now if you wanted to. Now all we need to do is add our dry in with our wet. Try not to over mix, but we also don't want a bunch of huge lumps. Quite the little mess maker, aren't I? Again, like I said, this is a perfect time to incorporate any additional seasonings that you might like, any spices, nuts, or seeds, or anything like that would be perfectly fine. But I just want a plain lemon loaf. And I haven't decided yet, but I kind of think I want to maybe even make an icing for this. Okay, so see, we haven't overmixed it. We're just making sure it's, you know, evenly dispersed and we don't have any dry spots, and that's all we need. I've got 2 loaf pans and I'm going to grease them well. I need a paper towel here to absorb that, and I just want to make sure that it does not stick. So we're oiling this really, really well, hoping for the best here. Make sure you get all your corners, because this dough does stick. And then I'm going to do my best to divide this out 2 ways. Kind of push the batter into the corners and level it out a bit. And the oven's preheated to 350 degrees, so I'll probably bake this about an hour. I like to do 20 minutes turn, 20 minutes, and then test, and then probably another 20 minutes. Watching it bake, and it's doing the typical Amish friendship bread stuff where it is looking a little brown, so I definitely want to make at least a glaze. So I'm going to start out with, let's do a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And then I'm just going to, I wish I had real lemon, but my lemons had gone bad. So I'm going to start there with couple squirts of lemon juice. Oh, and that of course was way too much. Well, maybe not, especially not for a glaze. So put in a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. And since we have 2 of these, I think I can get away with making adding another 1/2 cup to this. It's just sugar and lemon juice. You can use sugar and milk. You can use butter. There's all different ways to make toppings for your delicious sweetbreads. Okay, so I think we're going to go with the lemon juice and powdered sugar method though, because I just want that lemony lemon. And see, now we have an icing. So now I have options. If I want to leave it as an icing, we could certainly spread that on there. But I kind of think I want it to be a little bit more liquid. So I'd rather be able to drizzle it. There we go. Okay, just make it however you want, but I think drizzles are so pretty over the top. And if you put this on hot, then it will melt into it. See, I think this is about perfect. Okay, now we just need to let it finish baking, and we'll bring it out to cool, and then we'll drizzle it at that point. Okay, as you can see, they did get very dark, which I don't like, but it's just part of the Amish thing. And I didn't like how the middle was sinking in. And here I made a hole when I tested for doneness. But it appears to be done now. Try to go in that same hole because I couldn't find my cake tester. So we're gonna let this cool. It's been just about 10 minutes, and I like to take the back of the knife just in case and go around, and I'm gonna flip this completely over and see if it'll kind of pull apart from the pan. It looks like it's sticking to the bottom. I may have to persuade it a little, it looks like. And because they didn't dome up like normal, I don't know if it's because my starter wasn't as active or if it was just so heavy because I used the yogurt and the puddings. So there we go. And actually, I might just leave it this side up because I think this is going to look prettier than the wrinkly side. Whoop. And now right away, you'll want to put these in to soak. I'm going to let this set and cool. All right, it's been like, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I'm just going to take and drizzle a little over the top. It doesn't have to go on the sides because it's just going to fall off if you do. So mostly on the top. Just however. And I would have loved to have had fresh lemon zest to put on top of this to make it look even better. But because I don't, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little yellow food coloring with a little bit of the icing that's left. And I'm going to see if we can't get a nice bright yellow. There we go. I'm going to let this part sit. I kind of want it to harden up a little bit. And then we're going to come back to this. So it's been, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. I wanted the icing to get a little bit of a crust. And now what I'm going to do is kind of drizzle over. I just think the yellow will look pretty against the white. So we know it's lemon. Not that I won't mark it if I stick it in the freezer anyway, but you know, we eat with our eyes. So doing things like this just make it seem a little more special. If you want to add blueberries, if you would have wanted to sprinkle some poppy seed on top if you had it, that would be fine too. Again, I just wanted a pure lemon loaf, and that was what I was going for today. Now before we actually slice into this loaf, I want to take a moment to thank my co-host Renee for going along on this journey together with me and all the other people who've been participating and adding videos. So every Friday, the first Friday of the month, whoever wants to play along can either send us a picture or put out your own video using your Amish Friendship Starter. And we love how many people have been joining in. There is a playlist, it'll be linked down below, of all the videos prior to these that you can go back and watch. And you can look forward to one every Friday, the first Friday of every month, until we decide we're done. Ooh, I can tell it's got that nice crunch. I love that crusty crunch you get with the Amish bread. Still a little warm. We want a slice of this for our breakfast. Here's our lemon loaf. Shall we give it a taste? Take a small corner piece with just a little icing. You can't go wrong with these sweetbreads. And that lemon hits the spot. I didn't feel like the little seeds. I didn't feel like the burst of blueberries this time. One day I'm gonna get fresh rosemary and try that one too, but if you're just craving a little bit of lemon, this is the recipe to try. And here is a little bonus footage for you, how to package your bread. If you're gonna eat it right away, like we will with this leftover, you can put your bread into a plastic bag. Just to save myself time later, I'm going to go ahead and slice it so that it'll be easy to grab as a snack or a quick breakfast. My guys just prefer if I do it that way. Still a little bit warm, but that'll just keep the moisture in the cake, because once you cut it, it does start losing a little bit of the moisture. But that fits in our bag, and now quick snacks. Because we're also doing the Every Bit Counts challenge, we're going to put some of this in the freezer too. If you're wanting a little longer, why not teach you how I like to freeze my bread. Typically I don't use this kind of wrap, but this is all the plastic wrap I have right now. So we'll just go ahead and use this kind. I usually save it for on top bowls and things. So what I want to do is first cover it in plastic wrap. And then I'll cover it in foil. On the foil, I can easily write what it is. And if I want to go through the trouble of writing a date on it, or if I did anything special, I could do that, but I don't feel that's necessary. And if you want an extra precaution, you can go ahead and put it in a freezer bag. I could take it downstairs and put it in my Avid Armor and seal it that way. But this is just a simple way to put up your extra loaf for another time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.